if you ever wanted to get into the storm chasing business, pursuing those twisters and tornadoes and all those funnel clouds and all those dangerous storms that could take your neighbor's house. Gladys and Cletus used to be right next to us. All our children used to play together, and they're all the way over there now. We can't even say anything. We can't even get on the power line to say, "Hey, Ma, get off the dang roof." My God, all our children used to play together. Granted, we're all related because we're all from a family tree with no goddamn branches, but nevertheless, if you're going to get into the storm chasing business, it can be rewarding, but have a crew that you have a great camaraderie with. People that you've known for years that want to research and have fun and also not die, because dying is bad for your health. As Brooke Shields said, when you die, you lose the best part of your life. And also make sure you have the right amount of supplies. Have an escape plan. Have the backup to the escape plan. Have the backup to the backup of the escape plan. Then have a backup to the backup to the backup of that escape plan. And then, if you remember all that, maybe then don't try to make Twister on a very small budget. Otherwise, you could end up with something like Supercell. Written and directed by Herbert James Winterstern. Sounds like he should be doing some Pride and Prejudice type stories, in all honesty. Just sounds like a name way too snooty to be involved in a film like this. I'm not knocking the guy, it's just the name. Just sounds like he should be doing some grandiose dramatic epics. Also written by Anne Elizabeth James. Another one that sounds like she should be doing some period pieces and some novels. This movie, believe it or not, has Skeet Ulrich in it. Yes, Billy Loomis. And at one point he has a gun, so he's going skeet shooting. Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of puns in this. And Heche, who was behind the wheel multiple times during this movie. Oh no, that's bad. Oh yeah, it's going to be like that. Yeah, this movie came out months after Anne Heche had passed away. I actually genuinely forgot she passed away last year. Has Daniel Diemer, or Dimer, whatever, Dimer a dozen perhaps. Jordan Christine Simon, who actually I think has a bright future. This is her second credit. She was in a television series before this. And also Alec Baldwin. Oh no, Alec's got a gun. Okay, so one thing I do want to say is, this is a bit of a spoiler, but at the end credits, it was for Mom and Anne. So I appreciate that. That's a nice tribute. I do want to say, however, that even though the crew was trying, and I mean not just the cast, but the crew, and they were trying to do something decent on a small budget, because this is basically just Twister with about 1/10 of its budget, if that. This movie came out in 2023. Apparently, principal photography took place in May of 2021, and this movie was delayed that long. Could have been due to the pandemic, could have been due to the fact that Lionsgate and Saban Films looked at and said, we probably should just put this out on streaming mainly. Apparently, it got a small release in theaters, and it's about, wait for it, a Supercell storm. And they're in West Texas. That actually was, partly filmed in Montana and partly filmed in Georgia. I don't know if Texas cost a whole lot. Maybe they could have used the old Amarillo, Texas territory that Dory Funk Sr. and Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk operated for a number of years. So there's a teenage boy, William, played by Daniel, that had a storm-chasing dad. That dad dies, and naturally he is trying to carry on his dad's work. And his mother, Quinn, played by Anne, they're trying to pick up the pieces. They have a house cleaning business. They clean for one particular house that Harper, her rich family, because she's a rich girl, but she'd trade all that money in the world if her dad would come to her sports games. Okay, so I can't really figure out the Gwen Stefani lyrics and a way to make it rhyme there. But we end up getting, other storm chasers in there. Roy, Uncle Roy, even though he's an uncle pretty much just by association and friendship, played by Skeet Ulrich. And Zane, who I guess was the de facto villain, Alec Baldwin playing a storm chaser that bought the Brody name, because yes, it's the Brody family. And at one point, he was looking for his father, William. He, too many pronouns, pal. Sorry, Vince McMahon. William was looking for his dad, Bill Brody, but then typed in Bill, and Bill Paxton came up. Aha, Bill Paxton and Twister. Great, we get it. You're referencing Twister. Aha, ha, ha, ha. Look, everybody tried in this, but this movie was really, really terrible. Now, it's about family, and focusing on a family dynamic with a natural disaster theme in the background isn't the worst idea. You can do that if you're able to, kind of weave around the budgetary constraints. The problem is when this movie decided to try and show any special effects outside of the rain, these special effects look like they would have belonged back in like the late 90s or maybe 2003. The green screen effects are straight out of Jeepers Creepers Reborn. My goddamn goodness, there were some bad green screen effects. You could totally see, you could almost see at one point the storm cloud part where they're, staring out at it, and you could almost see Skeet Ulrich like put his fingers on the green screen. I mean, there's one point where Anne Heche and Jordan's character are driving, and there are these green screen effects with, fields going by, and it's terrible. And even the producer wants to chime in on these green screen effects, so the producer is going to come in and say something. And you were in here for some of this. This is Sir, by the way, Adopt Don't Shop. You saw these green screen effects and you couldn't goddamn believe it. You just couldn't. That is my eye. Don't get your claws in my eye. You were surprised to see Anne Heche in this. You remembered that Anne Heche passed away, but I didn't. I did not remember this. And then you actually were in when I watched Scream and you were wondering, why is Billy Loomis here? And you don't even talk, so I don't know how you conveyed this. I think it would have been better if you had actually acted in this movie, not directed this movie. You can't operate a camera. You don't have thumbs. You don't have thumbs. But maybe you could have driven the van and done like this and everything, and woo, 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 woo. So anyway, let's talk about this movie. Supercell is about a supercell storm. And then eventually, everybody has to come together to try and pursue the supercell storm because plot convenience. There's literally nothing to this movie. I mean, they try for a good family dynamic, which is okay. It's not bad, but it's surface level stuff. William and Quinn have that, son-mother relationship that's a little bit ridiculous. The producer has decided to let himself out conveniently because he had to make his appearance and chime in about the green screen effects. And basically, after meeting or getting his father's journal from Uncle Roy, he decides to go to talk to Uncle Roy and decides to go off on an adventure and chase storms with him. Look, I'm sorry, but this movie was really bad. This really was. I'm sure that the actors were a delight to work with, and yes, it is nice that Anne Heche can have end to her career, so to speak, after her acting career sort of fell off for a variety of reasons. But this movie literally seemed like it took 6 days and 7 nights to happen. Volcano, this was not. It is almost like somebody other than The Asylum decided to make Twister. The writing isn't actually that bad. Even the directing's not that bad because everybody's trying to make something work with this, but it's not good. There's one line, though. One bad writing or badly written line that's so shoehorned in. They're going to go to Kansas. You ever been to Kansas, Dorothy? Ah, ha, 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 ha. Everybody does storm pursuing, and eventually we reach a conclusion that absolutely makes me laugh. I am going to get into spoilers. I paid a few bucks to watch this on Amazon. Why? Because even if a movie's bad, and this movie is bad, sorry, it's bad, I will gladly pay some money. And I encourage people to do that. Don't pirate the movies. Pay for them. That way directors, writers, small cast members can go on and do other things. They can go on and do bigger, better projects. There you go. So yeah, I'm going to get into spoilers here. These spoilers will not take very long. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so Alec Baldwin's character Zane owns this Brody touring thing, no longer Brody Storm Hunters, and Roy is his employee. They take people out on these adventures as storm watching and everything, and then they get pelted with golf ball size hail. Actually, it's 3.5 inches. 3.5 inch balls. Lance Armstrong used to have that. Now it's just 3.5 inch ball. Fucking cheating scumbag. Anyway, Anne Heche multiple times is like, you shouldn't drive any further than you need to. I mean, if that isn't so goddamn on the nose, I don't know what is. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Skeet Ulrich decides to pull out a gun, hence the skeet shooting thing. And Alec Baldwin is about as, I guess, the closest thing you're going to get to a villain with this. It's not good. I mean, it's not. Like, any attempts to make this like Twister feel forced, and any attempts to make this a disaster storm epic don't work because of the budgetary constraints. The family dynamics, all right, I guess, despite the surface level characters, but I'm sorry, this just did not fucking work at all. The special effects are shit. They are dog shit. They just are really bad. I'm not even saying the crew didn't try, but they are really, really bad. Alec Baldwin decides to take William out with him at one point. This is after William had been left at a convenience store by everybody and then holed up in a phone booth while the water and the hail and everything pelted him, but then he somehow survived that. He also has some technology that his dad had and his mom cracked it. It's a sonic alarm. You're able to hear a storm from miles away. Figure out this frequency. And Hayes figured out a frequency. So there you go. At least that was something good her character did. And from there, we get a few storm scenes that really don't amount to much of anything. Roy and William have a few heart-to-hearts, including one where it's so goddamn dark that if the lightning wasn't striking, you wouldn't even know that there were characters there. You'd be thinking the void was talking to you. Avoid the void. That's not how that slogan works. And then William goes off with Zane. They get caught with two random Hindu guys that just pop up out of nowhere. And then Alec Baldwin pushes the van out of the mud and then gets swept up in the storm. Yay! And while Skeet, Ulrich, and Hesh and Jordan are pursuing after them, they find him and then they hole up in a pool after it seemed like Skeet Ulrich got knocked over in a van, but he didn't. He's totally fine. He's fine. He's fine, folks. And then they ride out the storm in a pool by submerging themselves, and then that's it. And then they're picking up the pieces, and yeah, that's it. It's literally it. Also, there's a watch that nearly caused William to get killed. It was a watch his dad had. Supercell gets an F. I'm sorry. This is bad. This is bad. This is boring. Credit to the people trying to make an effort, but it just wasn't good. It was not good at all. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.